This is the Padua Podcast Network.
Running a Fever, episode 291.
Shattering the Yo-Yo.
Track and learn. Previously on Running a Fever.
The battle is to regain my metabolism after the rapid weight loss that I've experienced in the last few months. And the victory was, today, I was down 1.8 pounds from yesterday. I am at a relatively higher calorie intake level than I have been, but also lower than I need to be. I continue to keep track of my calories. I really believe you have to do that in order to make this process work, and I'm determined to get back to where I should be in metabolism, and probably around 1,800 calories per day. But yesterday was a little over 1,000 calories. The previous 2 days were about 1,200 and 1,100, so I've been trying to step down about 100 calories a day to see if I can start losing weight. Then, from that, try to adjust it until I maintain my weight. I do need to lose some weight, so I'm kind of going to err on that side, but I am aiming for that 204, not to go below that or above it, ideally. I want you to know this metabolism thing is a serious thing, and it's not just lack of motivation. It's not that we lose our nerve necessarily. That can happen, but if you're still trying to eat healthy, you can't eat enough to sustain yourself without gaining weight. It does happen.
Well, here we are 28 episodes into the Shattering-the-Yoyo series. I'm not sure how in episode 56 I got from saying I'm going to stay the same weight for 6 months to I need to ease down. Seems kind of like I was cheating. I was already in really good shape at this point, that there should not have been a lot of urgency to lose weight, and the battle for metabolism was in full swing. And going back to 2018, I'm not saying I want to do everything I did back then, that I did everything right. Far from it. The idea is that I did some things wrong again, and that's why I wound up riding the yo-yo again. So I'm learning from that. I'm learning from my mistakes and from the things I did right. Also in this episode, I think I demonstrated another benefit of tracking caloric intake. If I'd not been tracking this along with my weight changes, I would not have been able to make a judgment about whether my metabolism was increasing or decreasing, and roughly how many calories I could burn in a day, and the level of activity and kinds of foods I would need to eat in order to burn those calories. For this to work, all of the parameters have to be reasonable. If I'm burning 3,000 calories a day, but I have to spend a couple hours on the stationary bike to do it, that's not reasonable. If I have to eat nothing but peppers and boiled chicken, that isn't reasonable either. So it's good that I'm tracking diet, calories, and activity along with the weight. I never actually got to tracking my macros. That was just a little too much detail for me to handle, but I did talk about it. So, protein, fat, carbohydrates. It's adding a lot really, though I think it might help, if you do have the time and energy to do that. November 6, 2021, it's week 10. Progress? Well, I've lost 4 pounds and my weight has stayed the same the last 2 days, though one of those was a cheat day. So I think I've managed to keep the cheating to 1 meal a day and have very light meals the rest of the day. So my daily menu now consists usually of V8 for my first meal, then light yogurt or an apple for the second and third, sort of interchangeably. Sometimes I don't have the third meal. And then I should say sometimes my third meal is supper. Then I may have turkey tacos or brats or sausages with no buns and just mustard for supper. So that's kind of typical day of food for me lately. So I've mentioned my Achilles or heel injury. It causes me to limp. But I already had a limp due to the callus on my other foot. So now I'm in kind of this double limp situation. You'd think they might cancel each other out and maybe even walk normally. But in fact, I'm favoring the right foot more, maybe because the pain is more intense there. Not sure. I'm sleeping really well. I'm not getting any exercise really due to my injuries, but I'm putting more steps on gradually. I don't want to overdo it because of the feet. But I've had a couple of 3,000 step days. Typically it's just under 2,000, which, it doesn't sound like much, but considering I'm in a sedentary job and I'm in the office, it's a different office, not quite the same configuration. So, but anyway, I can find ways to walk more. I don't want to overdo it. So I got to be careful about that. And I hadn't been able to do outside work. My lawnmower died, and I just got a new one, and I'll have to mow at least one more time. And, it's November in Arkansas. I shouldn't be having to do that, but I am. It's kind of weird. So hopefully just that one more time, but that should help me burn a few calories more sometime this weekend. There are a couple of areas that need improvement. Hydration is one. I need to drink more water. And also I keep forgetting to start on weight training again, which I can certainly do, at least light weights at home with the dumbbells. So I need to start doing that. And, these are all important aspects to living a long, healthy, happy, active life right up to the very end. And that, my friends, is the goal. So, thank you for listening. If you got the fever, keep it. If you don't, catch it, and I'll talk to you next time on Running the Fever.